Wrestling games community, this is Conrad here from Everything Pro Wrestling, here to let you know that Everything Pro Wrestling is a show by the fans, for the fans, and we are here to do a SWOT analysis on AEW Fight Forever. You may be asking yourself, what is a SWOT analysis? I'm here to give you a full breakdown and help you contribute to giving feedback to AEW Fight Forever. Make sure you guys keep it locked in with us, and let's talk some pro wrestling video games.
Everything pro wrestling, they can never be you. Listen to the podcast here for the people. The best show that's here, so listen in. Let the knowledge begin. The opinion and the lesson. Yes, everyday pro wrestling, they can never be you.
All right, guys, let's get it out of the way. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button if you like what you're hearing. Also, leave a like on the video, helps us in the YouTube algorithm. And I definitely want to hear your comments down below on what AEW games can do to help improve AEW Fight Forever. So make sure you guys keep it locked in with us here on Everything Pro Wrestling. We also do podcasting and many other things. So hit that subscribe button. It is greatly appreciated. So getting into a SWOT analysis. Some of you are probably asking, what is a SWOT analysis? What do you exactly do? I don't know this term. I've never heard of it before. It is a business term, and it's going through the strengths, the weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So SWOT is spelled SWOT, and each of these things have meaning for it. The left side are the things that you do well. The right side are things that you need to be aware of. Now, the strengths. We are going to look at what are the strengths of AEW Fight Forever. What do they do better than their competition? Their weaknesses. What does AEW Fight Forever need to improve upon? Their opportunities. What does AEW Fight Forever need to do to keep fans hooked in, increase sales, and just keep people interested in the game? And lastly, the threats. What are the advantages that the competitors have on AEW Fight Forever? We are going to get into all of that right now, and we are going to discuss it. So buckle up. If you guys got some of these ideas yourself, love to hear them down in the comments below. Let's go. First, strengths. The strengths for this game are, it looks like there's only a few, but there's a lot of things to them. First, gameplay. This is the foundation that the game was built upon. And to me, they seem like they strive to follow in the gameplay of the Aki game series. And I think they've accomplished this. I really like the idea that they gave people like multiple signatures, finishers, depending on the location of where it's hit. Kenny Omega's regular finisher is the One Wing Angel. He can also do it if you're in the corner from the top rope. It looks really cool. I thought that was well done. All right, so those things were great ideas, and I loved how they were able to put that in. Gameplay as a whole is really great. Leading into gameplay is small details. Small details are the things that are just beneficial to the person playing the game. I really enjoy how much effort was put into getting each wrestler right, even in the game modes where you can use thumbtacks in certain matches, where you can just see what people are able to do. They had weapons for everybody in here. Over 40 weapons, that's a lot. You had things like breaking the LED screens. We were worried you couldn't go up the ramp at one point, and look at this. You can go up, break the LED screens. You can reverse. You have different reverse controls that they added in there with 2 buttons. OC can put his hands in the pocket. Penta can remove the glove, and these are just to name a few things. Also, like, not sure if this belongs here, but hitting a move, it just feels more satisfactory with the hand-drawn animations. Things like that were done very, very well for this game, and I love it. And these are things that I think they need to continue to build upon and keep doing. The music library. If you have it, AEW owns it. I've wondered this for so many wrestling games. Why aren't you using the entire music library? It's there. I love that they were able to do this, and Ruckus put all the music in. I thought that was a great move. Big shout out to Ruckus, Montezzi, Swerve, John Connors, Rich Latta, Rated, Righteous Reg, everybody who got their music into the game. Yo, big shout outs to you guys. I know I used to do music. I had to give you guys some love. Lastly, keep taking advantage of the qualities that separate you from your competitors, even the controls. This game feels like a grappler. That's what I want to play when I'm playing a wrestling game. I want it to feel like we are grappling and we're going into it. I know certain aspects of it, it's like it's going to feel like a fight game, but this doesn't feel like, the controls don't feel like a fight game. It feels like something I'm familiar with. And even people who haven't played wrestling games in years came over, they tried out the game, and they said, dude, this reminds me of the old games. It was beautiful. Let's get into some of these weaknesses, though. We're going to jump onto the other side. The weaknesses for the game, you can definitely argue that there are not enough match types in the games. The modes we have are good, but we could use some more, is what I'm thinking with it. Where's the tag team ladder matches like we see in AEW? If you see it on TV, you pretty much can confirm that fans want to see it in their game, if it's possible. Creation mode's lacking. I'm gonna say this now, it's probably not possible, and I know that going in because I'm an old head, so I know going into this that you're not gonna get community creations, but I'm gonna put it up here that you need to have community creations in there. The creation suite, for lack of better words, is severely lacking. Like, you have shorts that are just of flags and things like that. We have to beef up the creation mode. But in this day and age, it's a good thing. Back in the Nintendo 64, when you had a cartridge, there was nothing you could do about that. But now we can download updates and fix things. So let's get some stuff in there for the wrestlers and the arenas. Bailout ability online, very, very abusive. These are things that are going to have to get nerfed so that people aren't abusing them online. We got to focus in on the online players too. There's a lot of skills, abilities, and probably moves. The Ruby Soho like toe stomp combination, I saw a lot of people were saying that was abusive as well. Also, there's only one save in Road to the Elite. I think having at least 3 slots would be beneficial to people if they wanted to play more than one, like maybe one with their Kaw and then one with an actual wrestler that they have on the roster. Consider expanding move sense. I'm wondering why some people like CM Punk are missing moves like the Pepsi Twist or the Pepsi Plunge that's the pedigree off the top rope that he called that move. And you can include it later on, but it just had me wondering in the beginning, like, where are some of these moves that were missing? But they had most of the main ones, so you get into it, and I think more people could have different signatures and finishers in the locations and things like that. And some of them do. You just have to go in and mess around with it. But I'd like to see some more in there. Also, I think from a marketing side of things, some of the things could have been expanded upon with this game. I'd like to see cleaner streams when you're playing the game. Even if that means recording them beforehand, uploading the videos at a certain time. Have people who are going to be excited about seeing this video game. They're going to be hyped. The marketing could have been better for the game. I'm not gonna front about that, but there are a lot of good things, and this section is probably my favorite to talk about. And it's the opportunities that are in front of AEW Fight Forever. We have games that don't ask for fan feedback. AEW Fight Forever has shown that they care. Their community manager, shout out to Zaidi, he has been asking for feedback in their Discord. If you're not in the Discord, you need to get in there. It is a great tool, and they're using the feedback. I love that. Now, fans are giving you a lot of this, and we see what some of the issues are with this game. They are asking for things like updates. Now, are we going to get these updates? I don't know. We just had a new video released here that showed off Chris Jericho, and these are pants that Chris Jericho does not wear in the game. I don't know if this is some super hidden unlockable that no one's been able to find, but to me, this is something that you got to consider including when you get back into what this game is all about. So updating wrestlers' attires sounds really good. Updating the create a wrestler, we need it. Updating the arena, we need it. And I know some of these are capitalizing off of things that I said were weaknesses, but with video games, they're not fully a weakness yet. There are things you can do to improve upon it. Kenny Omega said in the Uproxx interview, there were always going to be additions to this game. You haven't seen anything yet. You've seen a little bit, but you haven't seen a lot of things that I'm very excited for. We found out we're getting Stadium Stampede to come into the game. That's great. That's exactly what people want. So that's a new game mode. People are still wondering, though, where are steel cage matches? Can you add in match types? Can you add in call parts? Can you add in create an arena, different things? Like, we would love to be able to create things like the Tokyo Dome. Just so that you can have like a dome setting. Can we make the crowd a little bit bigger? But these are things that are all going to be factored in. What can you do? How much time do you have? And how much effort are you going to put into this game? They said that they don't want this to be a yearly title. That's a thumbs up in my opinion. So let's see what they're able to pull out here. When it comes to what we've been talking about, look at the mods that people have been putting up. Big shout out to Lynch Reborn for this. He had the Forbidden Door arena put in. I think it looks tremendous. That is just the apron skirt and the ringside area. I think that looks really, really good. Now, let's take a peek at the overall arena. Look what he's able to do. And this is all on PC. This is where not having like a community creations really hurts us. But that looks great. That's an arena you could put in. You could add in logos and things like that for winter is coming. There's a lot of things there that you can do, right? And we talk about DLC packs. I know that we've got Keith Lee and the Bunny still coming up. We got Hookhausen coming up in August. But what happens after that? What's the plan? We've heard rumors of the Acclaim being scanned. We've heard rumors of Swerve being scanned. We want all these guys. So the more the merrier, in my opinion, for the wrestling game. And I know it's not a perfect world, but let's look at what Doc Grix has been doing over on Twitter. I've seen some of these cool things. Look at this. Imagine if you could create a Hiroshi Tanahashi, if you had like an image uploader. Things like that would be great to add to the game. Are they possible? I don't know. I'm not a game developer. But if they tell us it is, let's make it happen. Like, look at how great this looks. Tanahashi looking fantastic. And last but not least, let's take a look at freaking Okada. Okada from New Japan also looking great. Also, big shout out to at Doc Grix. Really, really good stuff here. Like I said, you can add in the New Japan arenas, Ring of Honor arenas, wrestlers, logos. Death Before Dishonor is happening tonight as I record this. We can do some things for this. Let's go. Add in the ability to customize characters. We talked about Chris Jericho before. Why can't we just have Chris Jericho be customized? It would work. It would work. I personally think that's something that people would love to see, so we could put that in there. And we can go through this one pretty quickly. What are the threats? We know the WWE 2K series has been around for a long time. They have a big head start on AEW Fight Forever. So AEW Fight Forever's got to play catch up, and people are expecting them to play catch up faster. I can't really change that. But you also have the Wrestling Code. The Wrestling Code has been taking their time with this game, and they were seeking similar things to produce a wrestling game that fans would like to see, an alternative, so to speak, to the WWE 2K series. But you also have games like Ultra Pro Wrestling, who claim to be a just as good Aki series, I guess, clone is what they're trying to be. They're going to produce a game familiar with the controls. If you love No Mercy and all that, Ultra Pro Wrestling might be the game for you. We also have other games that are just completely different, like WrestleQuest. And there's multiple indie wrestling games to be on the lookout for at this time. So when it comes down to it, what are we going to do to make this all better? Well, we as the wrestling games community need to stand strong, tell them what we want. If you're in the cage matches, say that. If you want more wrestlers in the game, say that. Be very specific. Why can't we have match rules in the games for the Casino Battle Royale? Why not add pinfall and submission in there? Is it possible? I don't know. But I think it would look really, really cool if we were able to get something like that into the game. But listen, I don't want to take up too much more of your time. We did a SWOT analysis on AEW Fight Forever. I hope people in the community hear me. They're listening. And I tried to be respectful while doing this. And I think everyone else should be while giving their feedback as well. Thank you so much for the game. I'm enjoying the game, and I'm looking forward to seeing what updates we get in the future. Thank you all for listening to Everything Pro Wrestling. My name is Conrad Cushman, and I am out. 1.